Hi, my name is Richard,
I'm Lucretia.
and we're
Burning up the roads.
as fast as we can go.
Yep. Let's see if it's showing.
This is live.
Yeah.
Hello, everyone. I'm glad you could come, or I hope you will come.
Something doesn't seem right because we always have people before we even start. So I don't know if I've done something wrong, but I've done everything it tells you to do. And I will go out of ours on here. Ours on here. Happy Camper. Hello, Happy Camper.
All right.
Okay, we had we had a problem. I don't know what it is. I had to create a whole new live stream. You tell me. I have no clue how to how that would happen. How are you doing today? I'm going to follow. Going to look at my phone.
You're on now.
I know. Glad you came by. But something
Thanks
happened.
for coming.
Something happened with our original stream. Don't know. And our son said, kill that one and start a whole new one. So we did what my little guru said to do. And I've got some spice. That's 3 people, so I guess it's just us 3 right now. We'll give it some time.
I don't have it on.
Okay, get it on. So it's Happy Camper, me, and Brent.
Happy Camper, you and who?
Oh, Linda Barker. Hello, Linda.
Hi, Linda.
Modern King, thank you for coming.
Hi, Modern King.
Oh, we had some technical difficulties. We had some technical difficulties and I had to restart. Fordman Kenneth.
Hey, Kenneth, what's up?
How you doing, sweetie? I saw you earlier. Gary was giving you a hard time, buddy. We will not harass you about girlfriends right now. Linioki, thank you for being here. We are supposed to have a special guest. I'm hoping that he makes it. And I'm not going to say who it is till I see him in the room. But it's something you guys, I think most, how many of you, can you put in the chat if you are a full or part-time camper? Can you put just full FP or PT? FT or PT. Because this person is, he is a brilliant man who has...
No, it's not Gus.
It's not Gus. Who's wondering if it's Gus?
Happy Camper.
Happy Camper? No. You know, we have a German Shepherd here and a Beagle, and one of them probably would get Gus, and I don't know. Bad things would happen.
2 full times.
And Rayleigh Creative Travel, glad you came over here. Nice to see you. So you said 2 full times, Richard?
So far.
So today, it is both of us, as you can see. So this person has come up with a very necessary item that anybody who's full or part-time might most likely could be able to use. And I cannot see the darn screen today. Can't say I have to pick up hubby from work. If you're still on about 30, I'll be back. Yes. We will still be on, Mary.
Modern King said he's 0 time, huh?
Yes, we know. Modern King is our baby, our 30-year-old baby.
And then Barker says I haven't camped yet this year.
Okay. American Wanderer, good afternoon. See, here in Oregon, it's still morning. It's 11:09. So, the Happy Camper $1,000 toilet? No, it's not. But I believe he is working on a toilet. No, this is not a toilet, but it is something along the lines of that genre of need, if I may say so myself.
Aqua.
Is Weekend RVing in here?
Yeah.
Hello, Weekend
Well,
RVing.
maybe not.
Maybe
Somebody
not?
just said they.
Oh, Weekend RVing. Okay, I see what you're saying. Okay, that's cool. Just Weekender. Right now, we're not anything because our tent is screwed up and we don't have a rig yet. But every fiber of my being wants to be on the road full time. As soon as if I could do it tomorrow, I would be gone. I would be out of here.
Hi, Justin and Christina.
Hello. Glad you guys
Roy
came
and
by.
Becky Travels.
Roy and Becky, glad you're here. 12 in the room so far. We had technical difficulties this morning. It seems like it might be a problem. It wasn't just Gina. You know, she had technical difficulties. I had two, my mouse. We have to get a new keyboard and mouse today. I can't not have a reliable keyboard and mouse. So Modern King, son, our tech guru, I had to drag him out of bed this morning to help me. RV Ashes in April. I posted you a link on Roy and Becky's. Thank you. Thank you very much.
What's our son's channel?
The Modern King.
The Modern King.
That's our son, Richard.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure. Hello, Raid.
So,
hello, Raid.
Yep. We are supposed to have, and I know I put out a thumbnail last night. Did anybody get that thumbnail? Did you all see it by any chance? I've got such itchy feet. Oh God, it's driving me crazy. Now that I've made the decision in my life, once that decision is made, it's hard for me not to act on it. But I'm going to have to camp in my car. And I like him, but I don't like him enough to sleep in a car with him indefinitely. Nor does he probably like me that much anymore. We've been married 35 years. We've been together 37-ish, something like that. Yeah. Camping therapy. I was going to go camping today, but talk myself out of it because of the heat, no air. Okay, I can imagine that, but could you get a fan and open up a couple windows so there would be a cross draft? Would that have been helpful? I just want to go. I want to go on the road. I don't just want to go camping. I want to go full time. I want to be on the road. I want to go places. And we just have not been able to get the rig. And
I'll be right back.
Okay. We didn't plan on going till January anyways. That's when we planned on going and being out of Oregon and in Arizona for the RTR and the PAR-TR, if it happens. And it's just a drive. It's a pull inside of me to get going. We have beautiful areas here in the Pacific Northwest in Oregon and Washington both. And it seems like such a waste to be sitting in this house. Just, you know. But on the upside, I've met all of you. And so I get to interact with you guys and I get to know you a little bit, and hopefully you get to know me a little bit. So, and Richard, it's a tiny camper and it would be a hot box and not good with the dog. Oh, I hear you. Our beagle would not be happy in a hot area. Richard and I went to Walmart a couple days ago. I stayed in the truck with Patty. That's the beagle. And, I had to start it and turn on the AC because she was so uncomfortable. What else we got here? Happy Camper. Have to wait for my stuff to get here that I've ordered off you know where. Some of it gets here today. I can't. There's a Modern King. At least see part of his face. Otherwise, no. Oh, there's my sister, Olita Himmerly. Thank you for coming, Patricia. So if you got the thumbnail, could you just give me a thumbs up here where I can see it? And that way I'll go ahead and talk about it. I'll talk about him. And if you don't mind going and giving us a thumbs up, it would be great, very helpful to us. And I want to make sure I haven't missed anybody. Happy Camper, Happy Therapy, Olita, Really Creative Travel. You didn't see the thumbnail. Darn it. I came out here. Once I got a confirmation from this person that he was coming, I ran out here and I made a thumbnail. And I don't know. Hey, American Wanderer, glad you are here. Thank you so much. Let's see, make sure I didn't miss anybody. Is there anybody who got the darn thumbnail? Okay, my sister, Happy Camper, RV Ashes in April, Modern King, Roy and Becky, Mary Jones, Kenneth. You're so sweet, Kenneth.
Kenneth thought you were talking to him. We're out there on the patio. He thought you were talking to him when you were saying Kenneth.
Oh God. Okay. I hope you told him.
No.
So Linda didn't see one either. Then I'm suspecting something happened to my thumbnail. And
well, I told you last night I didn't see it. Remember? And you were like, "Oh, it should be on there."
I don't know. I don't know. I'll have to look and see what I'm erred on, what mistake I made. Okay, so if you're a moderator, go ahead and drop your link, please. And throughout the chat, if you feel like you want to drop it, please do. And that would be great. I really want to promote as much as I can for other channels. And that's one of the reasons I'll tell you a little bit. Lady Himmerly, my name is Little Red Corvette Lady. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, she has a Corvette that she can't really even get into, I don't believe, because she has at least as bad as a back situation as me. And so, and by the way, New Horizons, hello, glad you are here. Crazy Shepherd, thank you for coming. I do love watching the videos of your shepherd. We have a shepherd here too. It's my son's dog. He's a shepherd Malinois wolf. And Czar is the sweetest, precious dog. He is sleeping right now. Oh, you know, I'll show you our little Czar. Well, let's hope that come here. Come here, Zarbinks. Czar is a great dog. He came into our family via my nephew, and he had been, as a puppy, was abused. His he was restrained with barbed wire, and he's still got the scars on his ankles. See, there he is. That's our Czar. He is a good boy. So we love him, and we're trying to make up for all the abuse that he went through. And it's going to take a long time.
And now I have trained him personally
Yep.
to be my service dog, my PTSD service dog, and he is actually pretty great at it.
He's great at it. He's a very loving, compassionate little soul.
And now people want me to train their dogs. I should start a company.
I like what Linda Barker says. Let sleeping dogs lie. Good idea. And I don't see my friend in here yet. So I'll still tell you, because he will come, whether it's today or another day. His name is David, and he's from Gone Boondocking. Does anybody in here know David from Gone Boondocking? David,
thank you, Crazy Shepherd.
You know, these dogs, you know, I get along with animals almost better than I do human beings. I don't know if that's yes, Czar is a hero. He's a sweet boy. So Richard is back.
Hello.
Purple Tube, thank you for coming. Glad you're here. And
Biggie.
so our guest has not arrived yet. Still hoping we're going to see him. But there's so much depth to him. It will take a little while, I think, to get all the information out. His name is David. He's from Gone Boondocking. And if somebody could get his link and drop it for me, I would very much appreciate it. And I'm going to shout him out now. He doesn't actually need us. He doesn't really need anybody. He is not on here to make money. He's not on here to get a gigantic YouTube following. But he's got a solid base. And he was... what is it called, Richard? An engineer. He is an engineer, and he made cars for different car companies and developed them. Whatever you do to do that, and him and his wife are out on the road, and so pay attention for Gone Boondocking. So he confirmed last night, and he's but things happen. He's a full-time. Lives full-time on the road. And so things happen. So I'm going to give absolutely 100% benefit of the doubt to David for this. But because he's a very solid guy. Can't drop it. American Wanderer.
You want to go on camera?
Okay. I'll find it. And
Oh, there's Peggy.
I'll find. Oh, there's our beagle. There's Patty Cake.
Patty, you're on camera.
She is 20 years old.
You're on camera, good girl.
Yeah, we got her from my nephew as well.
You're on camera, good girl.
She's a sweetheart.
Oh, you love him.
Yep, she loves us. New Horizons. Okay, see you when you get back. So, anyways, he kind of figured out, and however he found out, one of the issues out there on the road full-time and even part-time, but mainly full-time, is number one, conserving water, and people couldn't shower. People couldn't shower because of this conservation of water issues. And that's all right, Susan. There seems to be technical stuff happening all day. And so
And then the barker dropped it.
New Horizon, I was wondering what happened there. I was looking at the message like, I have 6 songs.
they can see just your teeth, from your teeth down. There he is. And so he developed this item called the Hour Shower. And I believe it's a half a gallon of water. It might be a gallon, but I think it's a half a gallon. A person could use literally for an hour shower. And
Keep recycling it.
you keep recycling it.
Gets filtered.
And it gets filtered. He's a scientist. He's done all of the science behind it. And he's got patents on it. And by the way, it is not expensive because like I said, his goal is not to make tons of money. I'm not gonna cite the amount, but because I don't know what it has really turned out to be yet, and I'm not gonna guess. But I know that he's not. I know he's a solid man. He's a reputable guy, and thank you. So, anyways, till he gets here, we're just gonna chat. So let's see what's happening in the community today, besides technical stuff. Yes, I can feel it. Didn't really need it, but I can feel it.
I like to see the sweat coming on. So.
Yeah, patty cakes love everybody. So yeah, what's going on? Anybody doing anything exciting?
Oh, tell them about what I'm doing on Friday.
So we're gonna let the Modern King tell you what he's doing on Friday.
On Friday, I'm going to try out for America's Got Talent online because they're not doing it in person, but I'm going to do it and I'm excited. And everyone keeps saying to do it, so I'm going to do it for the second time, and hopefully you'll see me on TV.
Yep. He's got a very good voice. He can do opera, he can do blues, jazz, not jazz, but he's just got a beautiful voice. We live off well water, always caring about how much we use. Yep. This could be used in a house as well, I believe. So you haven't seen him in yet, huh?
Nope.
Okay.
Maybe he's asleep.
He may have slept.
No.
You never know.
Just working on my shuttle bus, going to Annapolis, Maryland, Thursday for a week or so. Well, have a good trip. I hope everything works out, whatever you're doing there. Do you know what you're going to sing yet, Brent?
No.
He does not yet know what he's going to sing, Linda.
Linda Barker said good luck.
I think I'm gonna do like I'm thinking of a song. We'll see.
Okay. And have a fun time at the lake, Patricia. Oh, seeing grandkids. We don't have any grandkids yet, but that is to come.
One and one great granddaughter.
Well, yes. Yes,
She always forgets her only granddaughter.
it's a step granddaughter. And just sweet girl and grandbaby. It just sweetest little kids. They're just to me little kids, all of them. 3 vehicles last night and crazy shepherd. Someone got into 3 vehicles last night and stole stuff. Does that count as exciting?
But I'm on
Caught them
camera.
on the camera. No, that's not the kind of exciting I want to be anybody to have to deal with. So if you caught them on camera, can you use that to find them? Will the police help you? Because that is that's awful. That's awful. And it's depressing because they probably took stuff you need. Wow.
Anyway, it belonged to you, so it makes a difference.
Thank you for the thumbs up. That's great. So in the meantime, when we're waiting for David to show up, and again, if he doesn't, we reschedule him for hopefully for Thursday rather than have news. Oh, Linda Barker, got to drop my van off for dealer tonight. It's overheated Friday. I'll take it when my daughter gets. You know, I don't know if I could live without air conditioning in my car. Actually, having short hair helps because it just does. I can't explain it. Olita Himmerly, where are you? Who are you asking that of, Olita? Crazy Shepherd, the police are not very helpful here. It wasn't our car. Oh, they tried our car, but it was locked. Unfortunately, so I actually had a cop tell me one time when we did some training that sometimes leaving the car. So if you leave obviously most of us, we always lock our cars. That's how I've been taught, and I'd lock my car. But if they really want something, first of all, don't leave. And I've done this, trying not to leave stuff in my car. But if they're going to get in there, it's better to have the door unlocked than to break the window. Oh, I just got a sharp pain in my wrist. Probably from how I've been sitting. Oh, yeah. Crazy Shepherd, what part of the country are you in? I'm having some spicy hot V8. I love this stuff. And I did not have any breakfast this morning. Hello, Minivan Mike. Thank you for coming. I don't know that I've ever had you come through before, so I'm glad you're here today. We are supposed to have a special guest today, but he has not shown up. He's a great guy. It's about an invention that he's come up with called the Hour Shower, and I encourage people to go look it up and see what I'm talking about. And his channel is Gone Boondocking, and him and his wife are full-time RVers. It's just he's a brilliant man. You know the phrase, the smartest guy in the room? He is the smartest guy in the room. He's brilliant guy. And this is hubby Richard, and I'm Lucretia, because again, I don't know that I've met you before, Minivan Mike. So let's talk about today. Whether, you know, I like having topics as much as possible. What are some of the biggest barriers out there for those of you who want to be on the road or are on the road? If you've gotten on the road, what's been the biggest barrier to getting there? And if you're working to get on the road, what's the barrier preventing you from being on the road, whether it be full-time or part-time or just weekender? Because I can tell you, for me, it's the literal rig, because I would find a way to be gone. I'm just saying, I need to be on the road. Crazy Shepherd, Kentucky. The woman across the street never locks her car because she doesn't want a broken window. We know most people won't actually break a car window because of it would be loud. That's what I think too. That's why I lock my car.
It happened in our driveway.
Oh, that's right. It happened in our drive. He just reminded me. It happened in our driveway. The back window of our son's car. He came out one morning and it was bashed out. And we live in a really quiet, dead-end street neighborhood where there is no real activity. I don't think there's any teenagers on the street. We are right down the street, half a block from a grade school.
You don't know who lives in any of the houses around you.
I know, but when we were kids, I grew up on this street. I grew up in this house. And when we were kids and we were out and about, when we were teenagers, we were always on this street, going to or coming from somewhere, or our friends here, or playing football out in the road.
I've lost a motor grinder, axes that were left outside on the patio or in my shed. Anything that was light and they thought they might get a buck out of, they took.
It is really sad that people do that, but so he reminds me, we had a window broken out and we didn't hear it. That's the crazy thing. We did not hear it, because I agree with you in theory. It seems like a window. I also know that people who said that they could hear some kids letting air out of their tires, pulling a prank, what they think is a prank. And Stephen Stonehawker, welcome. Now, I have seen you. I don't know if I've seen you on our channel or if I've seen you on someone else's channel, but thank you for coming here today. So what I'm talking about now, while we wait for our guest, Victoria May Wallace, hello. So happy you're here. Is waiting for our guest to come, if he does get here today, as we're talking.
Hi, Stephen Stonehawker.
Hawker.
Stephen
Stonehawker.
Excuse me.
That's all right. Video of the crooks will be up on my channel sometime, maybe tomorrow. Good for you. We have cameras too, and the guy next to us has cameras. I think most people. I don't know if it's most, but many people. Is D in here? Did I see someone say hi to D? Box Van D channel, hi. I didn't see Box Van D sneak in, but I'm going to go back through the chat just to see if I didn't see Box Van D. If you're in here, could you just give me a little thumbs up or some kind of acknowledgement? Because I didn't see you come in. If you did. All right, so we're talking about barriers to getting on the road. So if anybody in here would like to come up on the channel today, we'd love to have you up here to talk about maybe whatever it is you need to talk about related to your travels or getting to travel, getting out on the road. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put a link. I'm going to put that there, and then I know there's something else I have to do. I have to, I have to, darn it, I have to do this. That's right. I'm remembering now. This, copy to clipboard, close that. I have to talk it through. I'm sorry if it is annoying. And then paste, and then chat. I did it.
You were right. It was annoying.
It's probably not the last annoying thing I'm going to do for you, to do around you today. Okay, troublemaker here is back. Is back. Oh, no. Actually, Susan, I absolutely love you. I love watching you and watching you chat with people and your interaction. It's great. So I'm gonna,
Hello, American Wanderer.
okay, so I believe I put the invite out there. Yep. And there should be another little thing right there, but there is not. Of course there's not, because everything wants to mess up today. Vicky, would you like to come up? Good. I think that's a good idea, because everybody should be paying it forward in some way. Even back in the screen, honey.
I'm trying to read.
You're trying to read? Okay. Sorry. I'm sorry. There's people who don't know there's different ways to pay it forward. It doesn't always have to be money. It can be volunteering. It can be a conversation. It can be support in all kinds of ways. So I'm looking forward to that. Okay, you don't have to come up here, sweetie. I just thought if you might want to come up, that would be great. So is there anybody who would like to come up that has any issues with getting on the road or being on the road?
I'm already here.
What's your issue with being on the road, honey?
We don't have a van yet.
It's not going to be a van. I've decided.
Or anything yet.
Right. I know. We don't have our rig yet, but it's coming. I keep getting people that know we want to do this keep sending us opportunities. Oh. So when Susan, when I drop the link for the coming up here, shouldn't a little box in my basement have opened up? There's one right there. Oh, Vicky is coming up. Okay.
Hello.
Hi, sweetheart. How are you?
I'm doing great. You was talking about issues about travel. The only issue I had going camping for the first time in 21 years is being cramped with a full back end of our van with all of our camping stuff, no air conditioning, and mosquitoes.
Oh.
The whole time I was up in those mountains, I swore I'll never go camping again for the next 21 years. Mosquitoes, I don't care how much spray my niece put on me. Those mosquitoes ate me alive. I'm still healing from their bites. I mean, they got me in places I didn't know mosquitoes was able to get to.
Yeah. When did you go?
Oh, it was last month, I believe. Yeah, it was around, let's see, it was June 24th, 25th, and 26th. I think 27th. We came back the 27th in the evening. It was a miserable trip, I tell you. I don't ever want to go camping again.
Well, there might be a way around the mosquito issue. I don't know. I mean, I can be wrong, but maybe those candles that emit citronella or something like that.
She had the little tiny ones, those little, they're only about that big around and about that tall. And she had those burning all around the picnic table. And I threw a couple in the fire pit.
thinking.
And she, like I said, she kept spraying me with. I mean, she was getting that good spray and everything, and her and my little sister and my two great nephews didn't get eaten like I did, and they were being sprayed too. So I don't know what it was, but I ain't going again unless I have a full body beekeeping outfit.
Well, some people might like, and there've been animals in past years that have been around our house that had fleas. I always, if there's a flea, I get bit around my ankles. Was just chewed up, but Richard wasn't touched.
Oh wow.
It's weird.
Yeah, I Bugs and me, we don't get along.
No.
Fleas and mosquitoes. So far, no ticks. Thank God. Knock on wood. I never want to get one of those. But I don't like them. They love me, and that's the problem. So yeah.
Well,
Unless I have one of those big hats like your husband's with a mosquito netting that I can put all the way to my foots, I ain't going.
so you're talking about something that does concern me is first let me say hi to Shanna Craft. Thank you for coming. David from Gone Boondocking, Shanna was supposed to be here, but I haven't seen him come into the chat. He confirmed last night, so I'm a little worried. Although things come up, as everybody knows, things happen sometimes, and that's just the way it is. Okay, Linda, see you later. And be careful with the trampoline. If I had a trampoline when I was a little kid, I'd have been flying off of it. No question in my mind. Okay, so I'll probably see you later somewhere else. Anyways, so that is one of the issues I have about bugs and being on the road is mice. Okay, because so many people talk about having to deal with mice in their travel trailer or camper or whatever they're using, and I'll tell you what, it does not attract me that at all. One of my concerns is having to deal with mice. I can deal with spiders. I'm sorry to say, and please don't hate on me, but I kill them. I do not like spiders. I don't want them running in my ears at night or anything. I just have a I'm not crazy phobic about spiders, but I am about mice.
Oh,
Go ahead.
I hate bugs. Any kind of bug. The only bug I'm not afraid of is a daddy longleg.
Yes.
And those I pick up all the time and take them outside and set them free. But any other spider, I don't know what kind of spider is. Its life is going to be very short. I guarantee it.
Richard actually. Oh, go ahead.
We get mice here periodically, and we started off with mouse traps, right? And we had them in different places where we would see mouse poops or the chewing, and so. But they started carrying off our mouse traps. We ended up, yeah, we had a mouse trap under the sink and never found that mouse trap again. I don't know where it went.
That's not a mouse you want to come face to face with. That's
But so we started buying these little boxes that I guess they got to crawl in the hole, and it's got it's a poison.
Yes.
And that really worked. Here recently, I've been seeing evidence of one, and it was chewing up my medical box here that. I don't know if I can show you, but let's see, go this way. See the chew marks?
Oh, good Lord.
And this is all it is. I don't know why the mouse went in it. It's my breathing apparatus and all my medications from my breathing machine. So there's nothing in there really that should have attracted the mouse. But I keep everything in Tupperwares just because of that reason.
Well,
everything. I mean, if it ain't a can, it goes in something that they have a hard time chewing through before I notice. But we usually don't. They don't stick around long,
That's an aggressive mouse.
Yeah, I mean, I don't go underneath the sink where I had my machine very often, and it's dark and it's,
Yeah.
safe under there for a mouse to get to. So
Mhm.
I went ahead and pulled it out from under there, and periodically, I go into my closets and into my under my sinks and stuff, and
Oh,
I'll sweep up all the poos that I find, excuse me,
yeah.
and throw those away. So that way I always know if there's a mouse around, because if I find new poos in those areas, I'm like, okay, baby, there's another mouse. Need to update the poison stuff. But I never had to take away dead mice. For some
Yeah.
reason, they must, after they eat it, they disappear under the trailer. I found one in my neighbor's driveway a
Oh,
long time ago, but they don't like stick around and die. And I got a nose from HELL. I smell everything.
mhm.
And so years ago, we lived in a house and it was infested. I mean, completely infested by mice. And I would be the one following my nose to find, because I smell dead things very, very well, and I don't like it. So I'm the one, when I smell something, I'm like, follow me, husband, because I'll find it, but he got to clean it up.
Mhm. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, but we don't have that problem too much here in the trailer. I
Yeah.
mean, the park, I think they occasionally probably do something about it too. But we're in a 14 by 70, three and a half, 3 bedroom, 1.5 bath
Oh,
mobile home. I did do a video showing me a walkthrough of it
yeah.
and stuff. People can go see it if they want to see it. My house is a mess, probably in it, but if you
Yeah.
don't mind looking at other people's messes.
In my video that I just put out last night, I was showing the dogs came into the kitchen, and I was noticing in the video that my floor was dirty. It had not hadn't been mopped, and I'm like, oh my god, do I just cut this whole part out, or maybe other people sometimes have dirty floors too? I don't know.
Everybody lives with it at some point. I mean, that's why you have to clean, because something's going to get dirty.
Yes,
I'm
yes,
just kind of, honestly, I'm a little lazy when it comes to cleaning. I hate it. But,
I understand.
you
This is
know,
it's one of the reasons.
when it gets to a certain point, you have to clean it.
Yes,
I'm sorry.
absolutely. No, no. I have my son is my care assistant because there are things that are more difficult for me. I'm scooting over if he left. Um, my son is my care assistant, and it it helps. It helps, but it doesn't always do the things I need or want done when I want them done. It's just how it is sometimes. And
Yeah.
Susan made a good point. She said if she wouldn't survive long if she had to live in a van. See, originally I thought one of the reasons I want to get full time is I want out of the responsibility of the house. Richard has disabilities, even though he's not considered disabled yet. I am disabled, and I don't look at so much on the outside. But I have my mobility is not reliable. 3 days ago, I was in bed like from 2 o'clock on. From 2 o'clock on, I was in bed because I hurt so bad with my nerve condition, and and my surgery's been put off till next Thursday. It was supposed to be today. I should be actually recovering in a recovery room at the hospital, but things went awry with doctors, and so it got postponed until Thursday of next week. Once that happens, my pain should be better under control, but it's not well under control after about 3 o'clock in the afternoon, because the more that I'm on it, or like on days when I do videos or when I'm editing, like I spent about 7 hours yesterday sitting. When I got up from the chair, the nerve shocks from my knees down were close to unbearable, and there's nothing but getting in on my bed in the fetal position, that helps. And that's one of the reasons I cannot work at a regular type of job. I just can't. So looking at things on the road, what are people doing on the road? I have a degree, I have skills, I have experience, in order to be able to be out there. Anyways, it kind of off track of what I was talking, but it is a barrier, and Susan's point back a little ways, about she would die or something like that if she was I wanted to be in a van to start with, an extended Econoline van, the big ones, but not the ones you can stand up in, but just because it's much easier to get, but then you still have to build it out. You still have to put all the things in it that you want. So thinking about all the things that are barriers to getting out on the road, to me, is one of those questions I like to ask people. What's keeping you if you want to go, and what got you off the road? Bugs would be a big deal,
Yeah, that's a big deal for me. I mean, like I said, I don't like them, but they sure like me. I come to find out after 21 years of being coddled in a little town. But yeah, I keep trying to talk my husband. I said, now we got a new roof on here. Let's sell, get it, a pull trailer, and live in it. But then I'm like, but you better be gone half the time because we'll kill each other if we're stuck in here 24/7. Because his truck's not a real strong truck, and so it would have to be a real small, real lightweight. And I'm like, I don't know about that. Let me double think this, because he does his thing in the living room, and I'm in my office room back here, and it works for us,
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but yeah, what keeps us here is small spaces. I don't think would work for us. And to his mother, he's very close to his mother.
Uh-huh.
And as far as health problems, I can relate. There's a lot of times, I don't put it out there. They want to solder the bottom two discs of my back together right above my behind.
Yeah.
Because there's no more cartilage or whatever between them. And every now and again, a nerve will get in there and you'll hear it go pop. And I pop, crackle, and snap like the cereal. I mean, and the older I get, the more places want to pop, snap, and crackle like the cereal. But I've got degenerative arthritis, is what they told me. And they said I was supposed to be in a wheelchair when I was like 36, but I rode a bike. And before I got my electric trike, I rode a bike everywhere all the time because speaking of phobias, my one phobia is cars.
Oh.
It don't matter whose car I'm in or who's driving. I just have a hard time in cars.
Yeah.
So that's why I have a trike, is so I can have a little bit of freedom, but not own a car. My husband has his truck, and I will go with people in their cars because sometimes you just simply don't have a choice.
Right.
But me personally, just like here in town, my trike goes 20 miles at 20 miles an hour, and so I can do a lot of the lightweight shopping and just take my dogs and go cruising whenever I want. And it's a sense of freedom for me without being on a scooter. Because my husband says he refuses to let me be in a wheelchair or a scooter. He don't want to see me that way. So he helped me get the first trike. And I loved my first trike so much that I bought one brand new. So the first video is of the first trike I bought, which was Candy Apple Red, and I bought it off of Craigslist. And there was a practically blind heavy man that owned it before me. Now, I don't think the people that sold it to me were so honest. They said he didn't have it very long, but there was evidence that that bike had been ridden for quite a while. And at first I had to solder the frame, have the frame actually soldered back together because the whole back end ripped like a piece of paper, and it was hanging by one. I mean, you could take the back wheels and almost turn them completely around.
Oh, wow.
And so I get that fixed, and then the tires blow. So then I have to buy new tires, which they're an off number. They're like a 22.7 something. So they're not easily found. And so I had to search those out. The company was unreliable, to be honest. I could never get a hold of them when I needed new things. I had to immediately buy a new battery pack for it.
Oh, no.
And the battery pack for that one was, like I said, there was plenty of evidence that this gentleman had rode the bike plenty, because the box was just completely almost crumbled. Like he had hit quite a few things on the back end, and so that's why I was having the problems with it. But I love the style of it. I'm sitting up high enough that I'm right level with the windshields of cars, and the headlight and the is also the key ignition. And most of them, the key ignition is down behind the seat or under the seat. And I don't know, that just didn't. I just like the style. It's more like a motorcycle up here, you know.
No, I mean, if you're going to ride, you're going to use it. It should be comfortable for you.
Yeah, the only problem is when I'm really, really hurting, the front has suspension, but the back end doesn't. So you hit a bump with a bad back, and by the end of your ride, you're going to be hurting quite a bit. So, you know, I neglected to say that in my videos that I made, because I didn't think, you don't always think of everything all at once, but it's mentioned later and in chats, and I would tell people, these things.
Does it have shock?
It has front shocks, but it does not have back shocks.
Okay.
So if you've got a bad back, if you don't be really slow on bumps and stuff, you're going to kill your back.
Yeah. Because I thought I'd like one of those electric trike. I just don't, with all the conditions, the physical stuff that I have, I don't think that a regular bike is doable. I used to ride bikes all the time when I was a kid, no hands, turning corners, with just moving. And you should have seen us one time on a double bike, two-seater. No way. No way. And we actually, it was probably YouTube worth. Our first ride was probably YouTube worthy, but it quickly went to the wayside, and we got rid of that. One time we bought a raft, or like a 4 or 6 man raft when our son was little, and we went out into this pond that's across from the big lake here to try it out. And we were going in circles because we just could not get our paddling. It wasn't my fault. It was not my fault.
She's blaming that one on you.
Just, we were literally going in circles, and it started raining.
Speaking of that, we tried to blow up one of those kiddie swimming pools with the 2-layer blow up sides, but the bottom is just like a piece of fabric, more or less. And we tried to put that on the river with a bunch of us inside of it. What we didn't think of at the time was we didn't even have a paddle to get nothing. We weren't tied to the dock. And so we're all hanging over the edge at some point, paddling with our hands, trying to quickly get back to the dock before the river caught us and pulled us away. That would have been something to see. But we didn't try that no more.
No, my son, we have 2 major rivers that run through our town and right on the north end of our town. One's called the McKenzie River, and one is the Willamette River. And McKenzie is very popular for kids, for people to go up a certain point and then float down. Well, a few years back, my son and his cousin and another friend did that, and they were all wearing life vests. However, it got tipped over at some point, and the life vest got caught on a limb.
Oh no!
The friend, the life vest
Oh.
got caught on there, and she almost drowned with that life vest on. And so my son was trapped on a sandbar away from the girls, and so they were able to eventually get her unstuck, and then called for help. But it
Oh my God.
yeah, what started out as a really nice time, could have ended in one of them getting killed. And people every year, that happens on our rivers, just every year.
Well, here in our river, oh gosh, why did it just leave me? Our river, we've had many, many, many deaths because there's a lot of undertows, and people will be not too safe about swimming in the rivers, especially on the 4th of July, when we would have the 4th of July or the boat races and stuff. And people go out there. We've lost a lot of people, even boaters. I'm a really, really good swimmer, so I don't. But the thing is, I won't go in an ocean and I won't go in a river, because our local river, when I was a little girl, I went in there and something bit my booty.
Oh, wow.
I mean, it bit, and I thought I was out. I think I walked on water about that point. I was out of that water before you know it. I never went back in. I mean, my husband talked me to go in one time since then. But yeah, if it's not a pool and I can't see the bottom, I ain't going.
And I'm the same way. I'm a water person. I love the water, and I used to go into the ocean all the time, swim out into the really deep, way over my head, and then just get pushed back in with a wave. Well,
Right.
and we're on the Oregon coast, and I have seen plenty now of pictures and video of sharks on the Oregon coast. It is not uncommon anymore. And
Yeah.
I know that it's like being struck by lightning. They say the odds are so low, but they don't know me. They do not know me.
But knowing my luck, a shark would find me.
Me too.
Odds.
So I'm with you on that. I need to see the bottom. I like to go on the ocean. I mean, being on a boat is great, but getting into the water of the ocean, I know I'll come into contact with one of those predator things that I am not capable of fending off, and I don't want to get bit by a shark. And that's in the other phobia. No,
I like all my limbs, thank you.
I struggle enough. But, well, I don't think there's anybody after me, but we're out of time as far as it's probably new. It's 12:01 now.
Wow, went quick.
It did.
Well,
And
thank you for having me out.
Thank you.
And you guys have a wonderful day.
You too.
You too. Thanks
You
for
too.
being
Thanks
here.
for coming up. It was
Bye,
really,
everybody.
really nice. All right. Bye-bye, Vicki. And are you able to? There you go. She does. She knows what she's doing. So, let's see. I don't know if you've left yet, Patricia, my
She did.
sister. Okay. She's going out to spend time on our lake here with her boyfriend and grandkids. So,
10 people left.
yep. Is there anything else? Is there any topic anybody'd like to cover?
I got 11.
Because I'll tell you what, I'm always for chatting.
I don't have 11, you have 10.
I don't know, honey. And I do apologize for David not being here, but I can tell you when you get to hear him, and if you will watch his videos, Gone Boondocking, and someone did drop the link, you will just be amazed at him. Especially look for the hour shower. The hour shower is an amazing, phenomenal item. I think it would be great at any place. I actually used to love to clean, you guys. Shanna and
Vanderella said I enjoyed your cooking video.
oh, thank you. I love to cook. the next video I'm making, it may even be today if I can get somebody to mop my floor, is stuffed chicken and vegetable
I
stuffed
don't know if I have time to coach you through it.
chicken. Oh, right. The only reason he eats decent food is me, and that's a fact, because he despises cooking. He whines and moans and groans. He rolls his eyes as though I've asked him to commit a murder. Okay.
Better than decent cooking. She's an excellent cook.
And I enjoy it. And so, but what I would like to do next is a chicken and vegetable stuffed wet burrito. And they are, when I say stuffed, thank you, Susan, so much. When I say stuffed, these burritos are stuffed full of vegetables, and not just the regular vegetables. I also use like squash. If I've got cauliflower, and I know I have to have a head of cauliflower, I saute the vegetables all first, so they've got a saute on them, and with all the seasonings, and then make the whole kind of goulashy chicken and vegetable rice stuffed wet burrito. I do not put what I don't use in them. You're free to, if you don't feel like sitting here. If you're not, if you're hurting, you don't have to. So, oh yeah, cooking on a Blackstone grill, Susan. I watched Roy and Becky cook on it. Also, you want to say bye if you're leaving?
I'm leaving. Bye.
Bye. He brought me this. I can't think of what this
Hydrangea.
is. Hydrangea. I love hydrangea. I do. I love hydrangea. We have a ton of roses too. So Mary says bye. Bye, Richard. No, he's not a cook. Doesn't want to cook. I don't think even a Blackstone will entice him. He's not enticed by the barbecue grill. And what man is not like to barbecue? I thought that came in the DNA of men. There was also BBQ. So whatever the DNA sign is for men in BBQ. But no, he didn't get that DNA structure in his. And you know what, Richard? I would actually pay money for coffee. No,
How much you got?
no half and half in it though. Just black. Mary Jones, my husband isn't a cook at all. He tricked me, because when one of the first or second time I went to his house, he made me these noodles, cup of noodles. I should have probably gotten a hint right there, but he did put an egg in it, and the egg it cooked into it really nicely, and I really thought, wow, he knows how to cook, but that wasn't the case. So I'm looking forward to Blackstone someday too. Has anybody on here cooked with a Blackstone yet? At home or on the road, doesn't matter. Because I know quite a few people have them. Do you have one yet, Susan? I also watched a video last night that I posted on Facebook, and I don't know if it got onto my Burning Up the Roads Facebook page. LOL, he tried. Mary, my father, so here's what my father used to do. And my father was a brilliant man. He could do anything he ever set his mind to. And he did not get to have a college education, because if he'd have been a college educated person, he would have been in the sciences. He just was that smart of a guy. So he tricked me, Vanderella. Yep. You tricked me. Don't have one yet. Blaine, have you ever used yours? Is Blaine still in here? I've seen some cooking videos, of course. Gary, and also Mike and MJ. MJ has used, I've seen her use theirs. And Dee, of course. Honey and Me, so sorry. Honey and Me, don't worry. I was late too, because our first broadcast did not work. And I didn't realize it until we were about 6 minutes into it. And so I I killed that one and opened up a whole new one. And we're just going over today until people are ready to leave. You know, when I got one person left, we'll stop. No, I'm kidding. So Honey and me, thank you for showing up. I'm glad you're here. Right now, we're just kind of chatting about different things to do with van life or with traveling. I'm going to call it traveling because people travel in all different ways, from Class A's to living in their car. And there's a woman I'm going to try to get on here who lives in her car. She's a very average lady, a little over 60, although she looks like easily in her 50s. And thank you very much. Very much. And she lives in her, now it's an SUV, but it was Ford Man Kenneth Oaks, no, but would like to cook on a Blackstone. Yes, it just looks like you could do anything. And so I know if my mom had had a Blackstone, it would have been, she'd have been cooking for the neighborhood. So my dad, back to my father, as talented as he was, he would not, and I believe it's would not, because he believed, you know, he was, so he would have been 95 on the 4th of July if he hadn't died on April 5th. But so is life. And so anyways, he would go in and he would get peanut butter. Oh, is Dee in here? I have not seen her. I don't know why somebody has said Dee. If I missed you, Dee, I am sorry. I didn't. I went through my chat and I haven't seen her. Well, Vicky just said hi to Box Van D. So my dad would go and he would get the peanut butter and the jelly and the loaf of bread, and he would place it all on the table. And then he would go he lived in a house full of women. There were 6 daughters at one time, his mother, my mother, and his sister. 6, 7. That is 9 females that my dad had catering to him. 9 females. Now, granted, I was too young to make him peanut butter sandwiches at a certain time. But trust me, I got that job after everybody else was gone. And one day I just told him to make his own peanut butter sandwich. You're quite capable, Dad. So now I don't mind. Here's what I get razzed for in my family. I need a haircut so bad, it's making me crazy. And by the way, when I look in this camera, if we could just find a way to an inch and a half, and it would be great.
What you wearing? Show.
I don't know. I've shown them. Oh, these. Richard wanted me to show you these. Mary should be getting hers by the end of the week. We make these. I will say we, but it's mainly Richard does the technical work, and I help him sort and pair them up. And they're all natural rocks. He did some that were cut. I don't particularly like them. What sells them, or what sold them, we haven't been doing them for a few years. What sold them was they are absolutely 100% natural. They're unique. Even like if I put these two together, there's a difference. But they're close. And they're close enough to be matched up as a pair. But they're like this one right here is a little bit different shape, but nobody looks at both sides of your head at one time. Come on, I know that is there. So anyways, we still got 11 in the room. Thank you for hanging out. Come on, earring. Okay, it's back in its rightful place. And so finally my dad started making his own sandwiches. And then as he got older and he quit working about 75, he was still working full-time into his 70s. He was a master carpenter, and close to 80 is when he finally quit. And he was working part-time and could do it at his own pace. The guy that he worked for, Mary, oh wow, down to your bottom. That's long hair. Do you ever get headaches? Do you get headaches? Because a woman I used to know, I still know her, I see her once in a while, she had the most, her hair reminds me of Mel Nettie's, except her hair was the same color and the thickness down to her bottom. And she was super short, like 5 foot tall and very petite. Not at all. Wow, lucky you. This lady started having horrible headaches, and she did cut. She eventually she cut it about, oh, right about here. She cut it right about here, and her headaches went away because it really was her, that weight of her hair, and she just was too short and petite of a lady, and body bone structure very small to have, in her case, that kind of hair. I used to have, that bought this shirt and the neck is just too big. It says reason power to the females. Now I'm not a power to the female person. I'm quite capable. I don't need to advertise it. I'm a very independent person. New Horizons, used to have long hair, caused her headaches, so I cut shoulder length. So there you go. It's for some people it can be. So I've had hair that was, down to here, and I had very thick hair, and doing my hair the way I liked it took an hour every day. Any day I did my hair, it was 1 hour just for the hair. And so there's a point in life where I just thought, this is ridiculous for me. I just couldn't continue it. So I got rid of it. And then sometimes, like about 5 years ago, I grew it back out to about here. And it was right during one of my back surgeries. And Richard, before he went to work every morning, he was so sweet. He's in the room still too, sitting on the couch with the doggy. But he would straighten it for me. He would use the straightener and straighten it. He has helped me very much because of my disabilities, and I'm grateful to have him as a husband because, Susan, you're the only one with a husband I've seen that with someone who has partner with disabilities, or you're the disability partner, that they have been so helpful. I mean, it appears that way to me anyways. And it sounds like it. It sounds like it to me. You guys have a really good partnership. Richard is a great partner for me with mine, but he has his own. And, oh, Mary, have you ever thought about shoulder length hair? You would look amazing that way. And my little sister, she is very pretty girl. And she used to, we had very similar hairstyles for all of our life. And I started getting mine cut off, and little by little, a little shorter. I prefer it. And she finally started cutting her hair a couple of years ago, and she has amazed at how it's just brightened up her face, but with short hair, the downside to short hair, if there's anybody on here with short hair, y'all know it. Gracie 58. Hello, thank you for stopping by. The downside with short hair is it has to be maintained, because one day there's a spot like back here where it just wants to curl, and one day that isn't there, and the next day it is. And my stylist is in Prescott, Arizona right now, and I don't know when she's coming back. She's my nephew's girlfriend, and he's working down there right now. And so I don't know. I don't understand why they had to go to Arizona before I did. But that's where she's at. And the other person cost $60 a haircut. And Peggy, not so much. And so I feel I'm very stuck right now. I'm going to have to pay $60 to get my hair cut, because I'm not having it cut by some hack. There's very few things I need for myself. One of them, the one main thing, is to have my hair done right. Anyways, that's enough about my hair. Bye, Shanna. I hope you have a good afternoon too. And David will come sometime. I don't know what happened. You know what I'm talking about. He is the smartest man in the room. Been with your husband for 24 years, Vicki, but dated him when I was 16 to 18. Wow. Wow. There's a little jump there. That's kind of interesting story, I'll bet you. I could be wrong. No, I met my husband, and I'll just say I picked him up hitchhiking. I was 20 years old. It was right before I was 21. And I was still on the wild side of life. And I'd had a really, really intense kind of weekend. And I was on my way home. And I went a whole way that I've never driven before and never driven since. The route that I would normally take home from that part of town was a certain way every single time. And I pulled up at this little weird stop sign area, and there he was with his thumb out. He had on a three-piece suit, and he was carrying a briefcase. And he had, at that time, and it can't be this way again, because as everybody ages, things change, even with men's hair. He had a beautiful head of hair, and he had just had a very nice smile, and I picked him up. I'd never picked up a hitchhiker in my life. Oh, wow, celebrating 35 years in August. Well, congratulations, Susan, because I know exactly, I don't care how great a marriage is, it's still 35 years with the same person. And sometimes that gets, people annoy people. I get annoyed at Richard. I can't imagine why he would ever get annoyed at me, but he does. Oh, your hair is thin. It is harder to deal with, thinner hair. What made me pick him up is he looked so normal. He didn't look like what I normally saw hitchhiking. And I really had a real rough weekend, and I just wasn't thinking straight. I wasn't thinking straight. And he was only going 2 blocks.
But I was in a hurry.
But he was in a hurry. And so I picked him up and I dropped him off. And before he got out of the car, he asked me for my phone number, and I gave it to him. But I was leaving for 30 days, like within the next couple days, to go to Washington, Tacoma, Washington, where my oldest sister lived, and her husband, to record a song. And Larry was going to work with me on the song, and I was going to be gone for about a month. And so you're cracking me up. Well, it's a very interesting story. I could tell you it's probably book worthy. And I said, once my dad was passed, I probably would write a book. Because, being honest with, old parents, the idea was scary, but my dad knew me well, unfortunately. He knew that side of me before I had stopped drinking. I've been sober 25 years, so he has been with me a long time sober, but I was a very self-centered young lady, and I was very spoiled, and I was very temperamental. And if I didn't get my way one way, I would get my way another way. And so that isn't who I am today, but it's who I've been. It's part of my past, and I've come to terms with it. But it is funny if my kid told me they picked someone. Okay, so he left, or I left, and I went to Washington. Yes, I did. I thought he was handsome, and I thought he was handsome, and I don't know what compelled me, because like I said, I'd never picked up a hitchhiker. And the only time I ever picked up another hitchhiker was a woman in the rain with 3 little kids. And I couldn't in all conscience drive by her. Someday I'll tell you about a hitchhiker that we passed up and the story behind that. And it's a good lesson for the rest of my life. Just to say I should have picked him up. Richard was with me, but we were busy. And I didn't. Or he didn't. He was driving at the time. So anyways, I picked him up, dropped him off. Thought, okay, he's a nice guy. He seemed very nice. He was polite, gentlemanly. He gets out of the car. I go to Washington, and my mom calls, several times during the month. I talked to my mom, and she said, some guy keeps calling you named Richard. I said, oh, at first I didn't remember him. And then I thought, oh, that's the guy I picked up hitchhiking. And is Vanderellen or okay, I see what you said. I see what you said. Really creative travel was dang Richard. Guess she changed her mind. So I was gone, did my thing in Washington, came back. I was home a day or two, and he called. And I went over. I was a CNA, so I should have never told him I was a CNA because he had a broken collarbone, and he needed. He asked me if I would come for. I didn't know him, but this is how bad a judgment I had. If he'd been a bad guy, I could have been. I would have been. I wouldn't be here today. Let me just tell you that I would not have probably lived if he was a bad guy. I wouldn't have. It's not probably if he had been, a horrible person. And so he needed someone to help him take a bath because he couldn't wash under his underarms. And I honestly, to God, thought I can help him. And we've been together since that day, for the most part, except for a few times in life when we had to be parted for short times. But that is exactly. That's the short and sweet version of it. But we will be married on November 6th. We'll be married 36 years. And I'm probably the last of the daughters who anybody thought would stay married. Because it just, I don't believe anybody thought I would stay married. Or did I get married? And by the way, we got married at the courthouse because... Let's see, this is a small room. Oh, there's 15 right now. So this is going to sound a little crazy, but we were supposed to get married. It's going to sound way more crazy. We were supposed to get married on on a Saturday. So if we got married on the 6th, we got married on the 4th of September. November. The 4th of November.
5th of November.
Oh, we got married on the 5th of November. Richard always remembers it. I always get the 5th and the 6th screwed up. So 2 days before that, we were supposed to imagine your odyssey. I wanted to jump for a minute to say hello to you and everyone else. And here I am at work, so I will be listening. Okay, well, be prepared because you're probably going to laugh or you're never going to come back and see me again. So
November 6th.
It's November 6th. So we were supposed to get married on the 4th. And we had a wedding planned and all that. And we went out drinking, celebrating our upcoming nuptials on the night before the wedding. Well, I don't know how to say this, but we ended up in jail together. Yes, I've been to jail. It was sheer, it's part of what got me to why I don't drink anymore. I don't have good judgment and I do crazy things. And I do things that normal people do not do when they drink. I don't mind telling my story, but there's people who would just, I'm sure there's people who would never get it and probably will leave me as a subscriber. And I guess that's okay because I'm not on here to win. I mean, I want to have friends. Of course, I want to have people who like me and, but a relationship for me is built on honesty at some level. And so, yes, we did 62. Oh, I'm so sorry, Gracie, because, it's definitely imperfect. There've been way imperfect times, but, we did. I can't imagine being with anybody else. I don't know how I would have, anybody else and I would not have worked. Say what? Imagine your odyssey. Yep. We went to jail together. I guess if people go to jail together, stay married together. And we got out the next day at different times. They let me out first. And they actually accidentally let us in the day room together. And then the police got all, crazy. Anyways, that's not either here nor there. And so I was panic stricken. I called my little sister because if you knew my mom, you'd know I didn't call my mom and say, Mom, I'm in jail. Come and get me. I mean, I'd rather stay in jail than have her come and pick me up. Okay. So I called my little sister and she had to call my mom and say the wedding is off. Lucretia K is in jail. Thank you, Vanderella. I've only we get out, we're out of jail, and that Monday, my mother of all people said, "Why didn't you go to the courthouse and get married?" She loved Richard. She knew, it was actually my fault that this happened, and yeah. So it's definitely not something I want to ever do again. I'm not meant to be locked up. No, there was no charges. It was just, I lost my mind. And so it's part of the reason I don't drink anymore. It took me a few more years, but not long, because I originally quit drinking for 12 years. And then I had a 6-month relapse at 12 years. And then I've been sober for 25. So it's not I have no interest. And part of the reason I want to be on the road. So here's the other part of this. So I use my recovery and I actively work a recovery program that is part of me for the rest of my life. And I know that there's people out there that I could potentially be useful for, ladies, mostly women, that I could be helpful to. I've worked with a lot of women, teaching them how to not use substances for lots of reasons. I mean, there's lots of reasons people become addict and alcoholic. Not necessarily born that way, but I believe I was, because I just remember the first drink I ever had, first sip of alcohol. I was 6 years old, and I don't believe it's normal to like the feeling of that burning sensation when alcohol goes down, because I think everybody gets it. And I had an opportunity at 6 to take a sip of something, and I loved the feeling, and I always wanted that feeling until I quit drinking many years, way later. So anyways, that's kind of the boxed story of this. And we have one kid. I waited till I was about 7 years sober to have a child, because I didn't want to drag a kid through my drinking, and nor did I want. Early recovery is not necessarily the best time to have kids either. So it did take me to have a career in alcohol and drug treatment. I was a counselor for about 4 years, and so I enjoy helping people learn how not to drink. That's what they want to do. But I also have lots of people around me. Nobody actively, like, in my most closest world. My husband and I are both sober. There's none of that we have to deal with each other. But I've got people that I love deeply that are out there on substances, and it's horribly painful because I can't fix them. And I work another program in order to make sure I always remember that, because it's imperative not to get that kind of God syndrome that I know how to get sober and stay sober. I can tell you how you can. So I give, so anyways, but I have people that I love who haven't made that decision yet. Is there thank you, Gracie. Thank you very much. I love it. There's nothing about being altered, is what I call it, because of my back. I've had to take pain medicine off and on for a number of years, but I've taken, I think the word is poquito, little teeny, because I don't like that feeling of not being in control anymore. It doesn't feel good. And one of my sisters died because of that. The first sister that died 21 years ago was a prescription drug addict, and she did have real pain. We now know she had blood vessels that were starting to leak in her brain. Her doctor never gave her an MRI, never checked her head, nothing. He just gave her prescription after prescription after prescription. Even when our family called and threatened to get an attorney because this sister was so sick from the amount of drugs she was taking. And then one day I was at work and I got a call that she was in the hospital with a brain aneurysm. And the reason aneurysm burst, there was 3 of them that burst, is because she had weakened the blood vessels of her brain to such a degree that it made it easier for the blood vessels to burst. And so I have no interest in ever having to deal with that personally. I just can't. I watched someone die from it. It took her 14 days. And, you know, we lost her really on the day the aneurysms happened. And then that was in the middle of December. And we lost her physically completely on the 3rd of January. And she was one of my best friends. I was more of a mom to her than I was a younger sister. So I just miss her. So anyways, thank you. You know, I just know what, you know, how I feel best. And I don't feel best like when I have to go to the surgery next week. So this is the other thing. I won't be on Thursday of next week. I'll be on this week and I'll be on Monday. So if anybody wants to, has an inkling to come on at 11 on Thursday. Oh, my little sister is here. She is horribly camera shy, but if you will hang out a couple more minutes, I'm going to try and get her on here. She could use some perking up. So anyways, and she may have her grandkids with her. Maybe. So anyways, yeah, I'm not interested in that at all. Yes, Mary, thank you. I think about my dad who had to bury 2 daughters, you know, 2 daughters. And, you know, he had always a really positive, or I don't know what the right word is, a coping attitude, you know, and that was his favorite thing, is just cope. Because I would say, don't you, you know, he would wonder why. Hi. Oh, pad thai noodles.
The bean sprouts off.
Uh-huh.
When I went to pick it up to eat, I forgot to support this part where I put them.
Oh
They went
no.
all over in my car.
Oh no,
But
pad thai noodles
These
all
aren't
over.
contaminated.
Okay. Well, why don't you come in here for a minute?
Well, I'm coming through the house, and I'm
Okay.
not going to be on there.
Come on. Well, you could sit off camera. She lost her pad thai noodles on the floor of her car. Yeah, doctors for years had told me all kinds of meds. I have not taken medication 23 years. Wow, that's, you know, I have, when people need medicine, I mean, sometimes I need it too, and I have it in my house and I take it. But I know when I'm taking it because I absolutely have to have it. I can't, it usually happens at night for me, not normally during the day, because I'll be good until about 3 o'clock, and 3 o'clock is about when my back has compressed enough that it starts saying, you need to go lay down. You need to go lay down. And I'll be so happy when the surgery happens Thursday. And it's a week from this Thursday, because I'm thinking, at least my thought is, I'll be well. I mean, after 12 surgeries, I'm only well for a period of time, and that's all right. He's a great surgeon, and he keeps me walking. So, yeah. So New Horizons. Susan, you want to come on and talk about where you're at on your hours and your whatever it is that you need to have done? Because I ran your last weekend, I think it was. I turned on my iPad and I put your list up, and I put it under my table and turned the sound down on the iPad, but not on YouTube. I don't even know how to turn the sound down on YouTube. Everybody says that, and I don't know. I've missed something. Oh, thank you, Vanderella. It's how is Richard doing? You know, smoking. Oh, people. Well, no, he's not quit. He just has not quit. And that, I feel, you know, I feel guilty that I'm going for surgery when he needed his before me. But it's been his issue to not be able to finish smoking, you know. So we got our first endorsement opportunity. I found this in my email last night after I was finished making that thumbnail I thought I made and put out. So I was looking in my email, and I had an email from a company, and they wanted to know that they watched our YouTube channel, and they have that they manufacture a nicotine-free natural stop smoking aid, and would we do a video and endorse it? Well, I would never endorse something that we hadn't used or couldn't use or didn't have a way of checking out. I mean, no, thank you. And they would send everything free of charge, blah, blah, blah. I think everybody knows how that works. So I wrote them back and I said, as your luck would have it, my husband is trying to quit smoking or he can't get a surgery. And since you're saying that you will cover all the costs for this, he will try it out. And if he's able to quit smoking, we will be happy to do a video. Now, I don't know if that's the right thing to have done. I haven't checked my email because I had to get prepared for this. And so, yeah, when he's in enough pain, but I see him sitting there and he does not want to move, I would think that he would quit. I mean, he's been able to quit other things that seem to be worse, but apparently not. And I do understand nicotine is highly addictive. This too shall pass, and it does. Like you're right. There's times when the pain is way less, and then there's times when it's more. Like I've been sitting for a while, and I know that the pain is going to be increased when I'm done, and I get up, and I'm going to try to encourage my care assistant to do my
People who doesn't
just
freaking pain.
you could come over here on this side.
Trying to get there without dumping the whole rest of this crap out.
Well, Priscilla, yeah, she's my little sister, and
Oh,
just
please, I don't want to be seen on there.
you don't have to be, but
It's mine, that's yours. Here,
Okay.
have this icky smoothie I bought.
well, I don't like smoothies myself.
That's mad. They don't even use real fruit. It's the syrup.
Oh,
I don't like it at all.
is it peach?
Peach and strawberry.
It's not too bad.
It's nasty.
But so we were just talking.
Who are you talking to?
Let's see who's here. We've got 12 people, and
Well,
we've
they
got
can't hear me, can they?
yes, they can hear. Yeah,
This
great,
sucks.
Gracie. You could, when you're ready to, pull your phone up. Gracie, Vanderella, which is Kelly, Kenneth Oakes, Vicky. She was
Hi.
up here and chatted for a while. Mary Jones. As a matter of fact, I meant to tell you, Mary, we have two ancestral grandmothers on each side of our family. One was Mary Jane Jones, and the other was Mary Jane McMonigal.
How come you can't hear them?
Because
So they can hear our voices?
they can hear our voices, but I can't hear their voices unless someone comes up on the stream, and then I can hear them, and everybody can hear them. And so it's an interesting little tool.
How much do they charge for these now? $11
Where at?
on Apple Hollow by Big Lots.
Is that more?
I don't know what it used to be.
Oh,
I never had gotten them there, but you said they were really good, so I went there.
yes, they are good. Yes,
One guy that came in at the
Yeah.
same time I did got pissed because the lady came out to wait on us and she didn't have a mask on.
oh,
And he goes, "No mask? You're not wearing a mask?" She goes, "I'm not ordering anything." And he left. Well, she had forgotten to put it on. She'd been in the back.
did you get your hair cut?
No, I just did it.
Really? It looks cute.
Yeah, no, it's acceptable today,
Yeah.
but
I thought your stream was over at noon.
Yeah, but we just kept talking.
Oh.
We just kept talking, and there's still a couple people, but we'll close here shortly. Imagine your
Okay, well,
Odyssey.
I'll text you then.
Okay, I have a conference call to get on. All you stay blessed. New Horizons. Can't wait to see you hit your watch hours. Have a good evening, all. Well, thank you for coming on, and I very much appreciate you staying and hanging out through the interesting, odd conversation.
I know.
I told them about picking Richard up hitchhiking. Did you?
Oh Lord,
Yep.
that was a bad day. No, I'm teasing. I'm joking. It wasn't.
Well,
Except what I meant by that was picking up hitchhikers in general, not that it was Richard.
Brent. Oh, it's gone now.
Who's mad at you?
Well, can't even figure out why that would be.
You don't recognize Shea as his, or Shea as his granddaughter. Apparently, he thinks he's just supposed to make these.
Well, Vanderella, thank you so much, Kelly. I appreciate it. And I think I'm going to go visit with my little sister. Do you want to say anything, Priscilla?
I look like
You,
Shea.
no, you,
Look
it
at my
looks really
face.
cute.
I know, but my
Put,
face.
put your face over
my
here.
skin is ugly.
No, it's not.
my
Just peek in and say hi. There's the camera. Keep going.
No.
Priscilla, keep going.
Hi. There, that's it. Nope, I don't like to be seen by people. I do not like to be seen by people.
Well, at least we got her for a second on there. And Mary Jane said to tell your sister hi.
Hello.
And Purple Tube, thumbs up. If you haven't had a chance to do a thumbs up or a thumbs down, please feel free to do it. And I suppose I will see you Thursday. I don't know if I'll have any pop-ups. If we get to go to a park or something, I will do a pop-up, but I just don't know. Purple Tube said you looked at, put your face in here.
My hair's like all
Flip
flat.
your head over a little more. No, your hair looks really cute today. Put it over a little more.
I don't want to.
Yes. So we've been together in the hospital a lot. Not, for our own selves, but what was the last time? It was with Dad was in there.
Yeah.
When our father was in there, and people thought we were twins. I'm much heavier than my little sister.
Not that much.
But I'm telling you, people repeatedly, we had many, like 3 or 4 people over the course of a couple days ask us.
Well, even at the nursing home.
And at the nursing home that my dad was in, thought we were twins, and we're about 2 years apart. Anyways, all right. Well, and Mary Jones says you're beautiful.
Thank you.
Vanderell said adorable.
Thank you.
All right. So you guys have a good day. Thank you for hanging out for a while. It's been an hour and 45 minutes. And I appreciate your patience. And I can't wait for you to meet David. And so I think that's it. And I will talk to you another time. And if you've seen my video that I put out last night, thank you so much. I have gotten a lot of feedback. And if you haven't had an opportunity, check it out. It's a hamburger. It's hamburger Salisbury steak. And the next one I'm going to do is a chicken and vegetable stuffed wet burrito. And if I can get someone to mop my floor, I'll do that today. All right. I love you guys. I appreciate you. And thank you for showing up, hanging out.
Isn't that what one's getting paid to do?